In this video, I'll show you how to skim coat a plasterboard wall up to a level 5 finish, and we'll do that using the Comay Smooth Master trowel. All that and more coming right up. Bradamckinnon here, a New Zealand plasterer, finisher and stopper, and we'll get right into it by showing you here. I've already done this sort of strip through just below the centre of the wall, horizontal strip, and that's just to allow for when I come down skimming the wall and I lift off, just when I come back up the wall and lift off, I'm not going to get any sort of peeling or dragging. This is an old sort of wall that's had wallpaper on it. The wallpaper's been removed, and sometimes you just get a little bit of drag where you lift off and your next sort of coat upwards meets that. So that just eliminates that problem. And we'll get right into it. So I like to, when I'm skimming walls, I like to work from left to right. I guess that's just because I'm right-handed. That's the way I'm used to. Maybe if you're left-handed, you'd go the other way. But this is the way I've always done it. And the day before, I went around and prepped everything. So I did that strip through the center there, and I went around all the light switches, and I've done one side of the internal corners, and that's all dried. So just makes life a lot easier to do all that sort of detail work first. I mean, if you want to do it all together, that's absolutely fine, but I'll sort of show you why it's a lot easier as we go through the video. So I'm just working my way down from the top and left to right, and I'm using the Comay Smooth Master trowel. This is an absolutely beautiful trowel for skimming. It's got those slightly rounded corners on it, which eliminates a bit of drag. And just coming down there next to that light switch, because I've already done round that, I can sort of just come up and not get up close to it, and then I can just use my 6-inch knife just to clean up around there, and that's done. You can see the other one I've done there just in front of the bucket, and same with that strip right around the room. So we'll just talk about that as we go on. You can see how far I've come down the wall from the top, and that's just allowing me to lift off the trowel there, and you'll see when we come back from the bottom up how it works. But the Comay Smooth Master trowel is really good for skimming walls. It is sort of a rose color stainless steel blade on it. It's about a 0.5mm blade, but it's a 14-inch by 5-inch trowel, 350mm by 120mm. It's got a rubber grip, and it's got the finger grooves underneath the handle there, and it just fits snug in the hand. Absolutely beautiful trowel to use. I'm also using a pre-mixed multi-purpose plaster compound, air drying. So I would always recommend this plaster for skimming. It's never good to use a setting plaster for skimming, as it could dry out faster than it sets and you just have issues there. So always recommend using an air drying compound for skimming walls, especially over these old walls that have had wallpaper removed. And I just find, because it's glue based, it sticks better to these walls that have a bit of glue residue from that wallpaper left on them. But prior to skimming, I gave them a good sand with my Festool machine, Festool sander with 100 grit sandpaper. So they're all prepped up. And you can see here, I just like to work away from the door frame, also window frames as well. Just work out from them, and then we can work our way up from the bottom. So again, we're just rolling the wrist to put the plaster on, rolling the wrist, rolling the trowel, and then we come back and we hold the trowel on a sort of similar angle, sort of just smooth it out, take off any excess. So that's the general approach. Put it on and take it off. And we can just tidy up these corners with our 6-inch knife. So we wanted to get it as smooth as possible, just to reduce the amount of sanding that we need to do. We can get it as good as we can get it at this stage. It just makes sanding a lot easier. So again, rolling the wrist to put that plaster on the wall, and then just sort of keeping that trowel on the same angle to take it off and smooth it off. Now you can see I'm lifting off right on that strip I did the previous day. Again, that's just eliminating any drags or tearing might happen from it drying out a bit too fast. I've mixed up my mud nice and creamy, got that nice consistency to put it on easy. If it's too thick, you're gonna be straining the body to put it on. Want it nice and runny, and just putting the pressure on the toe end of the trowel to clean off so we don't get those drag lines. Just cleaning off. You can see there I've already done one side of the internal, it's dry, and we'll just clean up this side of the internal, and I'll come back once the wall's dry and finish off the internals. Just makes life a lot easier to do it once it's dry. Now if you're keen to see a lot more of this stuff in sort of sped up, you can see here I've got a lot of footage on my Instagram profile if you want to check that out. This is the next wall, just showing there how fast it can be done. But that's the Kome trowel. It's an absolutely beautiful trowel, one of my favorites, and perfect for skimming walls. If you want to check out what they've got to offer, check out their website. They've got some beautiful drywall trowels coming out, and they're a pleasure to use. Hope you enjoyed that one, guys. Hope you learnt something there. Thanks to Kome for supplying the trowels, and I'll see you on the next one.